Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me again for our program under the umbrella of Children of Freedom's Leadership Growth. The program is called Who is Who, and the purpose of this program is to introduce the leadership of the Muslim community, Muslim organizations, and Islamic centers. The format of the program is not preset, it's just a casual format. We invite guests from New York area to start off, and inshallah, we'll be expanding our focus from New York to outside of the New York. And those who are joining us the first time today, during the program, like I said, it's a casual format. There's no preset format. Please feel free to ask your question. We do have a chat box open. You can send your question. You can also send your question via WhatsApp to me as well. Without any further delay, I'm going to connect our today's guest, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, Habibi?
Alhamdulillah. Just to give a little bit about yourself, today's guest is Brother Ali Hassan Ali. He is the president of Al Mahdi Islamic Center in Hicksville. And brother, today's program is like you will speak and I will hear. And our participants will ask the question, and inshallah we'll request you to answer. Before I get into further detail, please tell us about yourself. I know, mashallah, you're doing a wonderful job, and I wanted to thank you for taking time out and coming to this program. You're, mashallah, busy person. A lot of traveling and all that. I truly appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you come from? Is New York your home? What a little bit about your education? What do you do in terms of work, a profession, and then how did you get into the community service? And mashallah, you are not a starter. You're a president of a organization. So we want to know a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. First of all, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak. Alhamdulillah, I think what you're doing is amazing. Because it's so imperative for us to interconnect and collaborate as a community throughout the Muslim Ummah. So as you mentioned, my name is Ali Hassan Ali. I am the president of the Al Mahdi Islamic Center. We're based in Hicksville. Alhamdulillah, we are 1,500 members strong community. We have recently moved to Hicksville. For the longest time, we used to be in Queens, in Woodside, Queens. We still have a center there, but it's not operational right now since we moved. Our community predominantly migrated from East Africa, mainly Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and they migrated in the 60s to New York and all over America. And alhamdulillah, our mosque is predominantly consisting of those who have migrated from East Africa. Of course, it's open to everyone as well. But I personally was born and raised in Tanzania in East Africa. I came here for college at the age of 18. I went to Stony Brook University. I graduated in computer engineering. Long story short, I pretty much stayed here as far as work goes. I started my career in software engineering, but alhamdulillah, with the blessings of Allah, I am currently the global head of software asset management, which is a fancy word for IT audit, in Morgan Stanley in New York. So alhamdulillah, I manage a team on a global level that pretty much ensures compliance, software compliance, and safety within the firm, essentially keeping the auditors away.
Allow me to interrupt you, brother. Allow me to interrupt you here. You came to the United States with a wonderful career in mind, and at the age of literally teenager, and mashallah, you went to school, you got education, and then have got a very successful profession. Now, what makes you to take time out from your career and sort of community? Why didn't you spend all of your time in your career and made best out of it? Why did you think of that? What makes you to come into to the community service. Tell us a little about it.
I think it was simply honestly for and all of us have this, right? It's a sense of belongingness. It's a love you have for your community, and um the importance of having that identity, all right, as for not just cultural identity, but your Muslim identity of, you go somewhere where you belong. And there was always a need, you see your elders serving, you get inspired through that. I remember when I would say 19 years old. There was at that time there was a president who saw in me maybe, a potential that I could help out, and he basically nominated me to just help him out on his team. And that essentially gave me the experience. It identified that I had the passion for that work. And almost 25 years later, here I am, essentially pulling full circle, and doing exactly what he was doing at that time, which is the president of the community. So Alhamdulillah, Allah, we always hear, you take one step towards Allah, He will take 10 back at you, and He will open doors you didn't even know existed. So Alhamdulillah, just every day is a blessing, and the opportunity to have, to get to serve your community. If anybody is even on the fence about it, I'm telling you, do not hesitate to run for that opportunity, because the barakah and the blessings you get from it is you have no idea.
So you go one step towards Allah, and He comes 10 steps towards you. MashaAllah. What a wonderful thing. And what do you say about it? If I personally, if I'm at your age, and have a wonderful dream of becoming a successful, a rich person, uh, I mean, I would rather spend all my efforts in making it possible. What makes you? I mean, I understand there was an inspiration from the president that you were attached with, but again, there must be a turning point that you thought of, taking a lead and taking such a responsibility. Now, mashallah, you're running a center of 1,500 congregants, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not just a 1,500 number. It's 1,500 personalities, 1,500 individuals,
Yeah.
1,500 backgrounds. So how does that
And
make you become a leader? What makes you do that?
this journey, honestly, I can honestly say that it was almost fate and destiny, where I had initially put my name down to serve as a treasurer of a committee that was coming up in the election. And then due to certain politics, internal politics, whatever, stuff happened during that time, and that entire election was canceled, right? And then the whole team started breaking apart, and something inspired within me that, because we had inspired so many youth to partake in that team, and seeing their faces that they were so disheartened of what had happened, I honestly just said Bismillah and took it upon myself that, what, this is something that we cannot. It is so difficult to motivate youth to serve, and here we are seeing our youth who are willing to step up, and seeing them, on their faces that they're so dejected because of the politics. Every community has politics, right? But it's a matter of, the what the leader does to shield them from it, right? The analogy I can think of, it's like you're holding that umbrella, and your team is behind you, right? You're taking the rain out on you, and you're shielding them from it, because you want to make sure they do the work, and you deal with the politics. And alhamdulillah, one thing led to the other. I said Bismillah, I put my name down. At that point, I'm honest with you, I did not even think I could do the job. I just put my faith in God, and everything after that is Him showing us the way. Honestly, I cannot take any credit for it.
Taking care of a global operation of one of the Fortune 500 company, and then, mashallah, very successfully handling and managing and having the blessing of running this Islamic center. I'm going to get back to this question again, but tell us a little bit about your family, if you can, please.
Sure, sure. So I am, Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us with triplets.
MashaAllah.
Um, Believe me, somewhere here I have my gray hair to prove it. Although my beard is simply as a result of my presidency. When I
Listen, you're
became
talking to someone who has got a white beard. So, and
when I
mashallah,
when I
at a
became a
very early age,
president
mashallah,
when I
you have
became a
taken a lot of
president, it
work.
was all black, and now after 4 years, it's all white. But alhamdulillah, Allah blessed us with triplets.
Mashallah.
They're 15 years old now. Um,
Mashallah.
they're two boys and a girl, and
Mashallah.
they, and God threw in the fireworks for free because they were born on July 4th. Um,
Wow, wow, mashallah, mashallah. So the whole nation celebrate, huh?
yes, alhamdulillah, and they keep us on our toes, but they're my inspiration today because children are so innocent, but they will tell you when you're doing something wrong, and with the blessing of Allah, if you raise them right, they know right from wrong, and they're not going to be shy about telling you if you're doing something wrong. So they really keep us on our toes and make sure that we're walking that proper line that we have taught them, to act on. So alhamdulillah, it's a blessing.
If you raise them right, huh? Wonderful
That's
message.
it.
If you
That's
raise
it.
the children right.
That's
And
it.
your wife, does she help you with the organization
No, so
activities?
she's busy in her own world as well. She is actually an administrator at the islip school district of English as a second language.
Oh,
So
mashallah, mashallah.
she's responsible for the entire curriculum of the islip school district. Basically, it's for all those foreign students that they have, and can create the curriculum for them, and ensuring that there's proper support and care for those children as far as teaching them English, and even when they're, for example, when they're in their math class, there's a concept of English there as well. So ensuring that even if they have a Spanish dependency, how are they receiving that knowledge of math so they can do those calculations while they understand what they're doing. So that's what she's
Mashallah,
responsible for, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. So she has got heads full with three
Yes, yes.
triplets and
And at the same,
this-
on the Islamic front, she actually has a dual role as well, because she is working on our Sunday school. She has
mashallah.
been responsible for training all of our teachers
You must be
on
a great
a.
help for the whole institute, if the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
organization.
exactly. So she's using her professional skills to train our teachers. We have a new curriculum that was recently created. It's called the Tarbiyah curriculum. It's a completely revamp of how we teach children. And she has been certified in that, and her job is to essentially make sure any new teachers that come in, they are trained to teach that curriculum. They know how to teach that curriculum, so that when they go out, the kids receive the necessary education in the correct manner.
Mashallah, man, mashallah, very inspiring, brother. Don't be surprised if you hear from the community members asking for guidance and suggestions from your wife.
No, absolutely. That's and that's one thing I want to tell you is that it is so imperative, for us as a community, no matter what, whether you're Shia, Sunni, whatever you are, right? But at the end of the day, we all have the same challenges, and it's so imperative for us to collaborate and meet, and because I can guarantee you, whatever problem I have, someone has already solved it out there. Um,
Definitely, definitely.
and it's just a matter of just meeting up and just sharing ideas, sharing problems, and just helping each other out.
This is amazing. Our challenges are same. You said it so right. Challenges are
Yeah,
same. And may Allah unite us, inshallah. May Allah give tawfiq
inshallah,
to work together hands in hand for the betterment of the community, and ultimately for the betterment of Ummah and the humanity in large. So,
inshallah.
brother, uh, you tell us about your education. Where did you go? Which school did you go? Where did you get your education?
So I attended Stony Brook University. I graduated in computer engineering, although that was hardware focused. Um, I halfway through I realized that I did not like what I was studying at all.
Ah,
But coming from the east, when you know how much money, I was a foreign student, so we did not have the luxury of grants and all that stuff. So knowing how much my dad had spent, we're a different breed, right? You and I, because we don't have that luxury of saying, no, you know what, I'm gonna take an extra 2 3 years more and change my major or whatever.
definitely.
So
We
I
need a
just
fast track.
yeah, I
We
just
needed a
buckled
fast.
down. I finished it. Although I hated it, but I finished it. And alhamdulillah, I shifted focus on the software side. and today I'm doing IT audit
MashaAllah.
on that time.
Allah has put barakat in it, mashallah. I know, brother, I ask you that it's going to be not more than 15, 20 minutes program. I'm going to try to stay within the time
No, no,
limit.
no worries,
Uh,
no
and
worries.
uh, Let me just mention this to those who have just joined us. Uh, our program is every alternate week, every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we invite guests from the community, the leadership of the community, and our focus is the local masajid and the Islamic Center, Islamic schools. Today's our guest is Brother Ali Hassan Ali. He's the president of Al Mahdi Islamic Center in Hicksville. And Alhamdulillah, great conversations going on. Please feel free to send your questions, comments. Our chat box is open. So, brother, going back to you, mashallah, an institute of 1,500 congregants. Tell us about the challenges that you get in dealing with the congregants. Is something that you wanted to share?
I think I probably share this challenge with almost every other president who may be listening, is what we just went through with COVID, right? And how we reacted to that. I have I have a community that is predominantly, I would say, 60 to 70% entrepreneurs, right? Either they are entrepreneurs themselves or they are working for an entrepreneur, and that is essentially the biggest sector that was hit with COVID. So, well, when I say it hit with COVID, I'm talking about their businesses were affected, and you know being a leader of a community where 60 to 70% of your community is suffering, and like every community, especially on in the South Asian community, realizes there's a lot of pride in our community, right? There's not shame but pride, where you don't want to ask for help, right? And we knew that, right? So as a leader of a community, your community is hurting, but what can you do to help? And so alhamdulillah, we tapped into a lot of resources within our community, accountants and all that stuff, who did a whole bunch of webinars on the EIDL loans and SBA loans, and provided resources for our community to get assistance there. um, we did a lot of recommendations on, if you want to start your own Amazon business, for example, how you can do that, what are the tools you need. And we were trying every little way to while protecting their dignity, right, give them the tools that they could get to assist them. And then the biggest challenge we wanted to solve was how can we take away one little burden that they have, which is pretty much putting food on their table. And we knew that they're not going to come forward to
He asked for.
to get for assistance. So what we did is, we partnered with Brother Shan, owner of Shaheen Restaurant in Hicksville. He has become an amazing partner, an amazing friend. We
Mashallah.
partnered with him, and we just blasted out everywhere to our community. Even if you're not of our community, if you need any meal, just go there. Don't just say, I want the Sijni meal, and they will take you. They will give you a whole packet. They'll ask you how many people, and they'll give it to you, right? And we were
Mashallah.
getting donations like that, right, from our community for that. And we didn't want to know who it is. We just wanted to help the people out. And alhamdulillah, we were able to serve 3,000 meals with
Mashallah.
that scheme.
Mashallah. Mashallah.
And I'm not saying all of them might have been our community, but just the ability that you try to help,
You
that
started
you,
off and then other people joined.
yes, alhamdulillah. And that was the biggest blessing. So I would say that was the biggest challenge we have. And then the second one I would say is the ongoing challenge is, how to get youth engaged. That has been, I'm sure everyone struggles on that.
True. Right.
um
How to get
how
youth engaged.
Yeah, obviously, even with us, right, they all come to the mosque. It's
True.
just that they're outside, they don't come inside.
That's true.
And they're an amazing help. You need any help with parking, you need any help with serving, they're there. But that barrier of crossing into that spiritual world, in giving them that spiritual upliftment of why we're there, that's always been a challenge. And but you know what, we have to change with the time as well. We have to deliver content that we know is going to appease to them, and not force them to come into our catered content. So that's always the challenge, but I'm
And
sure
that's
everyone faces that, and inshallah,
and especially in the country where is a diversified
yeah.
nationality background and all that, so it matters. So the barrier of the spirituality, how do you achieve that? What is there something that you wanted to share with the viewers?
With the youths, you mean?
Yes, with
Yeah, honestly, it's just a matter of finding ways to bring them in. For example, right? We have we have many programs where we commemorate, we celebrate the birth anniversaries of the Holy Prophet and all those people, right? And
yes,
and while we have our regular lectures, what we try to do is we try to do a quiz program through this popular app called Kahoot, right?
I see.
So, right, I don't know if you heard of Kahoot, but basically you
I
kind of
did.
it's a quiz program. You everybody has a cell phone. You log in, and it becomes fun. Um, they gravitate towards it. Some of them help us set it up, right? Fun
Yeah, we
questions.
used it in a seminar. We used it in a couple of seminars.
Yeah, and and we have nice fun questions, and they have a good time, and that has proven to be. And the questions are geared around that event of that day, right? So if we're here to celebrate the Holy Prophet's birthday, it's going to be general knowledge questions about the Holy Prophet, right? So at least they may not sit at during the lecture, but at least they're going to come walk away with that knowledge of why they're there today, and then the other thing we have done is on Fridays, through our alim, we have set up chai and chat sessions. So
I
what's
see.
the chai and chat session? It's like a roundtable sit down discussion. We give you obviously chai, and we just sit there and discuss what's happening around the world. Right? It doesn't have to be any religious
Particular.
topic, right? It
Uh-huh.
could be anything. If whether it's a Black Lives Matter topic or anything that's on people's mind, we just pick a topic beforehand. We publicize it, or if there's an article that we want to circulate, we circulate it before, and the people come in, and we basically have that discussion. And alhamdulillah, it's been very successful.
Mashallah, mashallah. So when
Mhm.
we talk about the congregation and the activities of different people of different level and different background, is that right to say that like other centers, your focus is mainly on youth as well, or do you also cater the same way the elderly people, the children, the women? What
Yeah.
will be your say on that?
So it's always been our aim to find a speaker that appeals to the majority of our congregants, right? So you're never gonna find 100%, right? But we can find. Obviously the priority has to be towards our future generation, right? Because while you want to cater for the elder generation, we try to find a lecturer who appeals to the future generation, but also, for example, speaks Urdu as well. So he will pepper in some Urdu language in their lecture with the English, so the seniors also get something out of it as well. The other thing we've also started to do is we've noticed that a lot of our young parents are unable to attend because of their children, right? There's no, it's bedtime and this and that, and the children cannot stay quiet during the lecture, all that stuff. So what we try to do is we try to combine, since we have two halls, we try to combine the adult lecture in one hall, and then on the other hall, the idea has been, hey, let's do something kids related, right? So the children can be there with that excuse. The parents can come as well, right? And then they will get to partake in whatever little lecture they can. Otherwise, they wouldn't have come anyways. And it's always a challenge, right? Even with that, you will have your pushback and whatever, but it's always the strive to find what's going to work with your community. And there is no one size fits all. It's just about whatever your community is going to respond to.
You said it very well. There's no one size fits all. It
Yeah.
depends on your community. There's one more thing, brother, you said, and I really wanted to reiterate on that within all the communities. The entrepreneurial shape, the ownership of of having your own uh, source of earning, having your own profession, running your own show. and mashallah, a congregation of 60 to 70% entrepreneurial. Does it also help in terms of running the center at a level where all the aspects, especially the financial aspects, are also taken care of very well, not in terms of contribution only, but also in terms of advice, support? Does it really help, or do you think there are too many cooks in the kitchen?
No, no. I mean, we, alhamdulillah, we have a great governance process, where we have a team that gets elected every 2 years. Although that team can run for re-election, but you have your president, vice president, you have your treasurers, you have your secretaries. So essentially, the office bearers have their own portfolio. They have a mandate to meet with the membership, every at least every quarter, for updates, and there's an AGM. So from that perspective, we get a lot of support from them, and as long as you communicate to them and you're transparent with them, they're gonna be supporting you, right? Because nobody wants shady stuff. Nobody wants that you don't keep the community in the loop. But whenever it comes to raising funds, we recently had to raise funds to replace our entire HVAC system, and that even we had to do during COVID time when everyone was suffering. And alhamdulillah, the community came together, because as long as they realize their money is going towards a cause that, as we say, sawab jariyah, right? Because
That's
you give
true.
one towards Allah's house, and you will reap the benefits over and over. And as long as that is something that you are able to communicate to them, they will be they'll be there to support you, because I can tell you, nothing I've done would have been possible without the support of my community, because whenever I needed them, whenever there was a need to even fund any programs, they were there at a phone call's notice. So that's honestly a blessing to have.
May Allah put more barakat in it, brother. May Allah
Inshallah.
put us on the Sirat Mustaqim, on the right path. Now, you say something very interesting. You said that you use the word Urdu. I mean, the most of the community is coming from Africa, and to my limited knowledge, they have been settled there for years,
Yeah.
for generation. Are you still connected with Urdu? Is Urdu all is still
Very
a
much,
major
very much. So,
community?
so our community migrated, although it's in Tanzania now. Our community migrated from the Indian subcontinent, and we're the Khoja Shia community that migrated from predominantly in India, in particular Gujarat, and
I see.
and a province near Gujarat, which is Kutch, right?
I see.
So obviously the Gujarat ones speak Gujarati, and the Kutch speak Kutchi, and they migrated, in the, I would say, in the 40s, to Tanzania. Some even sooner than that. And there was a big migration from India. One came down south to Tanzania and East Africa, and one went all the way across to where you have, your the in South America,
Oh, I see.
right? That's essentially where the other one went. And but being that we come from India, mostly, the delivery method of lectures in India as well as here is same, Urdu, Hindi, right? Till today, there is, for the most part, the lectures over there are delivered in Urdu, and the elders, when they migrated here, like my grandmother, for example, right? She doesn't speak much English, and although she understands it, but
Uh-huh.
she always prefers, that lecture in Urdu, that she can fully understand it.
She can fully understand. That's right. Brother, this is going on so wonderful, mashallah. I'm enjoying it. I'm pretty sure those who are watching us are enjoying as well. And I can do multiple programs with you. So, inshallah, you have to allow me to reach out to you in near future and bring you back
Inshallah.
to the program.
You're
Now,
you're doing you did an
thank you.
amazing job, and may Allah, bless you and continue to give you strength, inshallah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. And we need a lot of support, a lot of dua in continuing to be able to support our community and do our part, inshallah. Brother, before we wrap up the program, I wanted to ask you, being a leader, being president of an Islamic center, running a community, mashallah, large sized community, and fulfilling it very well, mashallah, very achieved. what will be your message to the community leaders in New York, particularly, and the U.S. In general? I'm talking about to the Muslim community leader. What will be your message through Children of Adam's leadership growth platform?
My honest recommendation and wish is for us to make an, a, a genuine effort to reach out to other communities within the Muslim Ummah right now, for starters, and just collaborate with each other. Because like I said, even if you can find 5 or 6 mosques in your area, and you decide to meet once a month, have dinner, right? Just meet once a month, share ideas, and alhamdulillah, that will be a start to something that is collectively gonna allow us to grow as an ummah, and have that unity, right? So, for example, that the challenges that one is facing, I can guarantee you someone's already solved it, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel if my Muslim brother, half an hour from here, has already solved it. And all that over a chicken tikka and naan, is what better way to beat your Muslim brother?
Sure, definitely, definitely. You said it very well. You're right. Cooperation, and then communication with each other, and then of course learning from each other's experience and expertise is going to make a lot of difference. Brother, I thank you very much for taking time out and coming to the program, and I wish you a lot of success in all the effort that you are making. May Allah make it a source of sadaqah jariyah. And also, from the Children of Adam platform, you have been, I wanted to thank you very much. You have been very helpful. Inshallah, we'll be getting back to you with some more programs, the Children of Adam, focusing on the youth and as well as the elderly community. You probably know that the Children of Adam has just purchased a property in the Huntington station area, and
No, mashallah.
yes, and the idea is to make it a center of excellence. Inshallah, from time to time, I'll share more detail, and pretty soon, right after Ramadan, we will be having an inauguration. Inshallah, I'll keep you in the loop, and please join with your community, inshallah, when the time comes.
Mashallah. May Allah bless you, and give you the barakah and strength to continue, inshallah. You're doing amazing work.
Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair again. And thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. And inshallah, looking forward to see you in our next program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.